You will act as my guide, take me to these lanterns, and return me home safely. Then, and only then, will I return your satchel to you. That is my deal.
Are you ready to dive back into the enchanting world of Tangled? We have some exciting news about the highly anticipated sequel. So let's embark on a brand new adventure with Rapunzel, Flynn, and their beloved friends. Shall we? Okay, but is Tangled 2 definitely happening?
Garçon! Your finest table, please.
Happily ever afters have a tendency to continue nowadays, with all those sequels, prequels, threequels, remakes, reboots, and all of that. The film industry is flooded with these projects, and even though most of the continuations are not necessary and thus end up being a failure, a lot of people think that Tangled is one of those rare films that truly deserve a continuation. In other words, Tangled has the potential to continue as the original film did leave enough space for a follow-up. The 2010 film didn't really end on a cliffhanger, but that doesn't mean that Rapunzel, voiced by Mandy Moore, and Flynn Rider, voiced by Zachary Levi, cannot embark on yet another adventure, this time as a family. And let's face it, the film did leave us with several questions. Disney and Pixar are officially focused on sequels nowadays. Toy Story 5 is in development. We have Inside Out 2 set to release next year, and Disney works on a lot of remakes at the moment, so why not make Tangled 2? Why can't they continue this story? Well, in order to satisfy viewers, Disney needs to keep producing high-quality movies, and the company needs more time to create a proper continuation, one that'll do justice to its predecessor, which is why we've been waiting for so long to see Tangled 2.
To get him arrested. Just for 24 hours, and then you can chase each other to your heart's content.
While live-action remakes are a trend at Disney now, the company regularly changes its focus from sequels to original pieces to remakes. Following the release of The Rescuers Down Under, Disney Animation Studios went 28 years without another follow-up. And then we had the sequels of Ralph Breaks the Internet and Frozen, which were huge successes. But after these two releases, Disney went back to creating original pieces: Raya and the Last Dragon, Encanto, Strange World, and the upcoming Wish. This means that Disney wanted to focus on standalone projects in these last couple of years, which is why they had no time to greenlight Tangled 2. In 2023, however, the Disney CEO Bob Iger confirmed that the company is working on several Disney sequels that'll come out in the following years: Frozen 3, Zootopia 2, and the previously mentioned Toy Story 5 from Pixar. And even though they didn't mention Tangled 2, this announcement says a lot about Disney's plan for the future. And again, the creators will need more time in order to come up with a story that would make Tangled 2 as great as its predecessor. It took the creators more than 6 years to make the original film, which cost around $260 million. Yes, that's right, Tangled was very expensive. In fact, it's one of the most expensive animated films in the entire history of cinema. Before we dive into more surprising details, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell. By doing so, you won't miss out on our future videos where we bring you the latest updates and discussions about all things Disney. Okay, so are there any other Tangled projects?
Hey, Max. What? I bought them.
Besides the much-needed and anticipated sequel, there are some Tangled shows and short films featuring the fan favorite Rapunzel. Following Tangled's release, Rapunzel returned to our screens a couple of times. The short film in which she returns is called Tangled Ever After, where Maximus goes on a wild adventure. Maximus is in charge of Flynn and Rapunzel's wedding rings, and throughout the film, he tries to save them before they tie the knot. Rapunzel was also given a TV show where she again appears alongside Flynn Rider and Maximus. Rapunzel's Tangled adventure, which premiered in 2017, ran for 2 seasons. The princess was also seen in Ralph Breaks the Internet alongside other Disney princesses. Anyways, thanks to the TV show, we now know what happened with Rapunzel's magical hair. This only brings us 2 surprising plot details and mind-blowing theories.
Just let me heal him, and you and I will be together Forever, just like you want. Everything will be the way it was.
Rapunzel's hair is, without a doubt, the key element in Tangled, and if there's a continuation, we shouldn't expect to see a similar storyline simply because her hair is gone. Or is it? The original film ends with Flynn cutting off Rapunzel's hair so that she could be free from Mother Gothel. When Flynn cuts it, the hair loses its magical qualities and turns brown. In Tangled, the series, we see our favorite princess with restored magical hair, which is a bit confusing because the ending of the film implied her hair was cut, thus she lost the magical powers. Luckily, there is an explanation in the series, so it turns out that the sun drop flowers magic still lives inside Rapunzel, which is also how her tear brought Flynn back from the dead at the end of Tangled. A Tangled follow-up could go in any direction. It could focus on Rapunzel's magical powers, it could send her and Flynn on another adventure as they face new challenges. It could give us more Flynn's backstory, and yes, it could feature Flynn and Rapunzel as a family. In the Tangled series, we discover that Flynn is the long-lost prince of another kingdom. Some fans think it would be way better if the sequel focused on Flynn and Rapunzel's children instead. If the creators go with this idea, a time jump would be necessary. What do you guys think? So, is anyone on board for Tangled 2?
The world is dark and selfish and cruel. If it finds even the slightest ray of sunshine,
Well, not really. If Tangled 2 happens, it would probably happen with different creators. A huge part of Tangled's success was the storytelling, and this is why a lot of people want to see the same crew that worked on the original film working on it as a follow-up. In an interview with the Den of Geek, Tangled producer Roy said that the directors weren't really interested in doing a sequel, adding that the film industry is kind of rife with sequels right now. In the same interview, the producer also explained why a sequel might not make sense, and he feels like Tangled is perfectly fine as a standalone project. In his own words, her hair was gone. There you go. Yeah, but it seems a bit contradictory because, as mentioned before, the series shows Rapunzel's magical hair with a clear explanation of how she went back to blonde. So yeah, this argument doesn't really make a lot of sense. But some people agree with the amazingly talented producer, saying that Tangled is perfectly fine without a continuation. Do you guys agree? As for mentioned, Disney's focus now is on original pieces and live-action remakes. So, will there be a live-action Rapunzel film?
Rapunzel, I thought I'd never see you again.
The first announcement regarding a live-action Rapunzel film came back in 2020. Back then, the Diz Insider reported that the film is already in development. The fellas at Diz Insider also revealed that the project will have a theatrical release, rather than a Disney Plus release. Ashley Powell, who wrote The Nutcracker and The Four Realms, was set to pen the Rapunzel script. Michael DeLuca and Kristen Burr were revealed to be the film's producers. Unfortunately, Disney never made an official announcement regarding the movie, and it looks like the project was put on hold. The reason for this is not known yet, and we still don't know whether this will be a live-action adaptation or a modified story. Anyways, a lot of fans think an animated sequel, aka a direct continuation, is a better idea than a live-action remake. I completely agree. Do you? Even though Disney didn't give us any updates in the past 3 years, we have already thought about who would play the iconic characters in a live-action remake. A lot of fans think that the House of the Dragon star, Fabian, would make a perfect fit as Flynn Rider. As for Rapunzel, my suggestion is Amanda Seyfried. Do you have any suggestions? Let us know. That wraps up our discussion on how Tangled 2 could be different from the original. We hope you're as excited as we are about this potential chapter in Rapunzel's story. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, stay tuned for more exciting updates, and as always, thanks for watching. See ya!
Alone at last.